Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for checking out this video. Today, we are going to learn a lot about Inflection Nexus and why this is so important to use in your strategy. Even if you don't have access to Inflection Nexus, uh, make sure you are using some type of AI strategy in your analysis. All right. Once again, my name is Jeremy Dancer. I am a Forex trader, hedge fund manager, and I am a Forex coach. If you guys want to have access to the signals that I provide to my group using this indicator, um, make sure you join my Forex program. Make sure you go to the website below and you can sign up right there. Make sure if you have any questions, reach out to me as well. I am more than happy to answer them. I use Facebook Messenger most of the time. You can email me as well. And without further ado, I want to get into this. But first, I want to start with a message from the developer because I think this message is super powerful. I rarely ever, give shout outs to other people or recommend that you guys follow other people, but I strongly recommend you guys follow this guy on Facebook and also follow him on TradingView because this is one of the most talented programmers that I have ever met. And he's also one of the most generous because something this sophisticated most people is not going to share this to the public. So I want you guys to read this statement from the developer because it's a super powerful one. All right. And then I'm not going to read all of it, but you can pause the video and read it. But this is such a powerful statement. For decades, technical analysis has been a conversation between a trader and a static chart. We draw our lines, we apply our indicators with their fixed lengths inputs, and we hope that our rigid tools can somehow capture the essence of a market that is fluid, chaotic, and perpetually evolving. When our tools fail, we are told to adapt, but what if the tools themselves could learn that lesson? What if our indicators could adapt not just for us, but with us? Man, when I read this statement, I was like, you know what? I'm going to follow this guy and, use all his resources and tools because that's just so powerful, right? You know, we are constantly having to evolve as traders. But if our indicators can evolve with us, that's just, I mean, that's everything in my opinion. All right. So now I'm going to show you guys some examples of the signals using this indicator, just so you guys can see just how powerful it is. Okay, so this right here is an example of the signals that I share in my private group. If you are a member of my group, don't sleep on these signals. They are very effective and very accurate. So the most recent one that I posted was last night. I posted two signals on the euro, New Zealand dollar, and the pound Australian dollar. And both of these signals were good. And I am still holding on to them for long term. I want them to reach their full take profit. And because I manage so many accounts, it's helpful for me to have some long-term trades mixed in. So I don't have to trade every single account every day. But then my accounts are mostly being active. But you can see here, I'm not just giving you guys the signal, but I'm also giving you guys the reason why I'm placing the trade as well. So every signal I provide comes with a screenshot like this. And then you can see that, okay, wow, you know what, this is some really good stuff. All right. And then I like to have at least one update as well, just so you guys can know, all right, should I stay inside the trade? And this is the update to that. Because I am a teacher, I love explaining why I do what I do, because I feel like that is how you guys are going to learn the most. If I just give you signals and you don't know why I'm telling you to sell or why I'm telling you to buy or why you should hold, then you're not going to learn anything. So I take the time to really explain things, just so you guys can see, okay, wow, I'm really learning something here. And uh, I think this is awesome. All right. So if you're not part of my group, make sure you join, because I am one of the few people that have access to this indicator. Most people don't have access to this indicator. I don't know when the programmer is going to re-release it to the public, but you know, while you have me, make sure you're able to use it. All right. So that's it on this part. Okay, now before we get into the indicator itself, this right here is the Shadow Portfolio Adaptive. It's SPA. That's what that stands for. And this thing is a powerful engine. All right, so you can read this description here and see it does so much. And then this right here is the inflection nexus part of it, which shows you, the market condition, the trend, and just so much valuable information that is by far the most powerful setup that I have ever seen on TradingView, especially for free. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so now we're inside my trading view, where I currently have Inflection Nexus loaded, and I also have the Gaussian filter loaded as well. Big Beluga and D-Sky Investments are two of my favorite developers, because these guys are super amazing. But because I did not give this indicator the review that it deserved. That's why I'm focusing this video solely on Inflection Nexus, because this is the most powerful AI engine that I have ever seen and been able to use for Forex. And in a way, this is becoming my own personal Forex coach. It's teaching me how to read the market in a very different way, and it's helping me out with the analysis and the calculation part that my human brain just can't keep up with. All right. So let's first get into the settings here. All right. So I recommend that you have reversal mode and breakout mode checked. All right. You want to give this indicator as much practice as possible, because it keeps track of every signal it gives and it learns from them. Okay. So you want to give it as much experience as possible, because then it's going to be more efficient over a longer period of time. When it comes to AI, they need freedom. Okay. The more freedom they have, the more they learn, the better they get. And ultimately, you're going to notice a big difference in the signals it's generating. Okay. Now, ATR measures volatility. So I want to make sure that you guys are understanding um, the settings or the inputs here. This engine is factoring everything that is important to us as traders. volume, momentum, trends, what type of market condition we're in, uh, different moving averages. I mean, this engine is keeping up with all of that. So when it gives a signal, it's a very strong signal based on a lot of data for you to see a sell or buy signal. Okay. Let's see here. So he uses RSI for momentum, ATR, RSI. I mean, these are indicators that very professional traders use, and they're very popular, very effective. And you can see like the settings that's going on behind everything. So, like I mentioned before, this indicator learns and it evolves. So the more you use it, the more you'll notice that the signals start to improve. So you'll notice the entries get better. And I'm telling you guys, this is such a powerful tool. All right. And I mean, it goes very deep. So you can see all the different aspects of what it's learning from. Okay. And let's see. Risk management. So the higher the number, the more trades or more signals it gives. If it has too many losses, then it's going to take a break. Um, and I'm gonna go into some of the sell signals that you guys see on my screen, so that I can make sense of that for you guys. All right. Because what it defines as a loss and what you might define as a loss are two different things. Okay. Um, Now I want to make sure you guys understand most of this you're never going to change. You're just going to leave it as is. And I trust the inputs from the developer to use what he feels is best. But uh if you think you can do better, by all means. All right. Now I'm just gonna make my chart easier to see. All right. So I know what you guys are all thinking. Jeremy, look at all those sell signals and a obvious uptrend. Surely this indicator is not working that well. You got to look a little deeper. Okay. Each of these sell signals generated roughly 100 pips in profit. Okay. Now, for most traders, we have our targets anywhere from 50 to 100 pips, right? If you want to have a career as a trader, you can make a living, 30, 50 pips a day, right? So if you can make 100 pips with like virtually no pullback and be in and out of trades, because I am on the 15-minute time frame, by the way. All right. So if we look at this first signal right here, all right. So 40, 60, and then it dropped to 40, 23. So, when I count pips, I count by hundreds. So 40, 50, 40, 40, 40, 30, 40, 20. So this move from here to here was almost 400 pips, right? If you had took the signal, even if you took it here, you would have made around 200 pips, right? And you would have done it without much pullback either. All right. So what I have learned using this indicator, when I see situations like this, there's something else going on because Inflection Nexus is way too great of an indicator to have so many wrong signals. Even though they generated 100 pips each time they gave a signal, and then when the correction finally happened, this right here was like almost 1,000 pips. from if you sold from here and then you took your profit down here, I mean, you would have made, 900 pips, because that was a monster of a setup. But when you see situations like this, that's also a sign that there's a lot of manipulation going on, right? Because if the volumes are saying the price is overbought, the sellers are in control, and the price should go down, and it still goes up, then there's something else that's driving the market. So when you see situations like this is a sign that a correction is coming. Every single time I've seen this many sell signals pop up, that's telling me, okay, you know what? There's definitely a correction coming up, and there's probably something going on. And gold right now is having a lot of manipulation, right? So it makes sense. So there's two ways that you can play this. Every time you see a sell signal pop up, use a very low stop loss, like 25 pips or so. Because, as you can see here, the pullbacks are very, very small, right? Make your 100 pips, keep it moving, and, keep going for as long as you want, right? Now, another way of looking at this is for, traders who have a lot of experience, but this right here is also a very good setup for volatility contraction. All right. So volatility contraction measures the highs and lows. And when those highs and lows get smaller, then you can identify breakouts. So volatility contraction is a way to identify market manipulation. And I'll give you an example right here. All right. So if we take, for example, this line right here, we'll just use it. We'll put it right here. And then I'll put this one right here. All right. So, from here to here, let's just say it's roughly 400 pips, right? So the next thing you're going to measure is the next contraction point or area. Some people measure this in percentages. There are indicators for this, but you can also just do it manually, like you see me doing right here. All right. So from the previous high and low was like 400 pips, right? Now we're seeing that the highs and lows or that range is getting shorter. So now you see it's like roughly, 200 pips, right? And then if we move this here up here, now that range is getting even shorter, right? So 40, 61, 40, 44. All right. So this is say 150 pips and so forth. So if you understand volatility contraction, then in this case, the next time the price hits this area or this resistance, that means it's going to be a breakout. So you could have bought here as well. But volatility contraction is a completely different thing. But the point that I'm trying to make is in this market, AI is very, very important because it's telling us in a perfect world, this is what should happen. The price should have gone down. But as a professional trader, as someone who is a student of the industry, you can apply your other knowledge and your other strategies with this, and you can still make sense of everything. So if I'm buying in a market that is clearly overbought, I know that I am trading a pullback, even if that pullback is 1,000 pips, especially if I'm trading gold because of all the manipulation that's going on. I at least know that I'm trading a pullback. Because see, there's a lot of traders right now that are trading gold and they see this uptrend and they think, okay, you know what? I'm actually trading with the trend. You know, I'm holding on to my longs and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But if you had Inflection Nexus, you'd be like, wait a minute, there's there's no way all these sell signals are wrong. But now when you factor in the status of the US with the government shutdown, there is a lot of data that's not coming out. So, for the time being, gold is just basically running amok, right? But once the US dollar or the data on the US economy comes out, we're going to start seeing corrections happen all across the board, right? So for the time being, you just kind of have to play the game, right? And, despite, you know, the sales in an uptrend, I mean, they're still giving out massive returns. You know, right here, 41 16, and then it dropped all the way down to 40.92. So, 160. So, like almost 300 pips there, right? So if you just took a couple of those trades a day, I mean, you're going to do very well. And we can see right now the current setup, is another sell, right? So earlier I placed a sell right here at 41 54, and then I closed at 41.40. That's because I know when I use this indicator that 9 times out of 10 is going to give me at least 100 pips. So I automatically put 100 pips for my take profit when I use this indicator. All right. And the reason why I like the Gaussian filter is because this right here is giving me the percentage for the momentum. So the key number here is 0.60 or higher is a long-term trend. So if it's under 0.60, then that means it's a short-term trend. So if you see 0.02, that means this bullish momentum is very, very low, right? So we have two indicators telling us that this price is going to drop. And we can also see the diamonds here are analyzing and they are studying these candles. And this is why I love this indicator so much because it's teaching me what is important. Now, I've been trading for many years at this point. So, I can look at candles and understand them. But if you really pay attention to where the diamonds are located on the candles, they are located on supply and demand zones of the candles. So they're analyzing the volumes. They're analyzing how many sellers there are, how many buyers there are. It's analyzing all this data that you see here, and it's keeping track of it. And then once it feels confident, it's going to give another sell or buy signal. Now, in this case, this indicator understands that we are in correction territory, right? That's how it was able to spot this move right here, right? This is a massive move. Okay. So this is why it's doing what it's doing. So until the market does a correction, we probably won't see many buy signals generated from this indicator. And, in my opinion, that's perfectly fine because I always want to be on the right side of things. There's a lot of people who get comfortable winning in conditions that are actually very bad. And because of this, Trump driven market, a lot of bad setups are being rewarded. But I'm telling you guys right now, that is not sustainable. If you want to have a future in Forex and trading, you need to understand what you're doing. And regardless of the market manipulation that's going on, you still have to follow the fundamentals and make sure you guys are doing trades that actually make sense. Okay. Because a lot of traders are going to get wiped out thinking, okay, you know what? I'm just going to buy, and be fine. And then something like this happens and wipes out a bunch of traders. All right. Let's see. That's pretty much all I can think of at this point. Just, ask questions, reach out if you need help. But once this indicator is available, jump on it because you never know if the programmer is going to remove it and only allow just a small group of people to use it. So, I definitely recommend you guys use this because this is one of the most effective indicators that's also free. I can't stress free. Something like this could easily go for thousands of dollars. It's that powerful. All right. Thank you guys for checking out this video, and I hope you guys join my program, especially if you want to have the signals as well. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Take care.